thanks to someone who risked their freedom, let's say, we now have proper video footage of the moments prior to the collision that took place between something aggressive that was deliberately shot or crashed into the jet plane on January 29th, 2025 in Washington. So I want you to look carefully at this picture. So if we are to believe Trump, that what is being pointed at there would be the jet plane. All right, that would be the jet plane. This is prior to the crash, if we are to believe what the military and mainstream media are telling us. And on the other side of the screen, right there, if we are to believe mainstream media and Trump and the military, that is what they are calling the BLACKHAWK military helicopter. Well, you're now going to see whatever that is. You're going to see that it was firing missiles at the plane well before impact. When a U.S. drone, and at the end of this video I will show you some footage of an actual U.S. drone firing missiles, and it makes a little fiery glare. You're going to see the first missile firing now in a moment. I had to slow this down. I had to tape it. I had to focus in and slow it down at the lowest speed. So this is at the lowest speed and focusing, and you're going to see a missile being fired out of that craft, which is what they say is the Blackhawk. It has not at all touched the plane at this point. There's one missile, and it keeps going, and it's going to fire another one before impact. That fires another, and in a moment it's either going to completely demolish. I believe that the reason why the plane is so bright is because it's either on fire already, and here's where it's the final total destruction of that plane. Boom. All right, so now we're going to have a few other views of this. I'm just going to let this without focusing in. So that would be what they are saying is the jet plane. Now it doesn't look healthy, does it? Why does it appear to be on fire? Sorry that this is the best that I could get. So why is that jet plane looking like like it's I mean, that doesn't look normal. And it looks like it's been hit there by one of the missiles. Do you see that? Wow. Wow. That was just hit. That was probably the second hit. I didn't even notice that when I looked at it initially this evening. So, I mean, that jet plane is not in good shape there. It just doesn't look normal. It's either on fire, or part of it is on fire. And now it's going to be finished off by either another missile or the drone crashing right into the jet plane. Boom. No question that there were missiles being fired at the jet plane. It cannot be denied. I mean, the truth has got to come out. Somebody who was operating that drone from the ground. And by the way, in the literature that I have been studying, it is made eminently clear that the drone operators who are on the ground, they talk to ATC just as an actual pilot would who's in the air, which is why I think that guy, did you see that guy? That guy is the guy. That's the killer. All right, so let's look at the MQ-1 Predator. So this is this is the drone that the US military use. And it's a lot like the BLACKHAWK killer drone. So what you're going to see in a moment are the place where the missiles are secured on the drone. And then I'm going to show you their admission that the ground control, the people who operate the drone are on the ground, and they also have to talk to ATC, just like a real pilot would. So that's why ATC was talking to BLACKHAWK, and that's why there were no coordinates given or anything, because BLACKHAWK is just the operator of BLACKHAWK is on the ground. Okay, it looks kind of spooky, doesn't it, that drone? So you're going to see now, do you see where the 4 missiles are? And we are going, they call this the Predator. It's almost exactly like, this was the preferred drone before they switched to the BLACKHAWK. There's the missile. And in a moment you will see the admission that the ground people speak to ATC just like a regular pilot. Sorry about the delay here. I just thought some of you would be interested in seeing the text there. Here's another weapon being loaded on. Direct attack munitions. Boy, aren't we something. Look at what we can do. Look at the damage that we can cause. A foolish world we live in. Bunch of fools we are. Now there's a guy on a computer. See that? Now, so you can see there the pilot is in the ground control station. And then they make sure that the drone is responding to the commands from ground control. And they're, so this is the Reaper apparently, so this is the one that was in use prior to BLACKHAWK. Now, look at that. As with conventional aircraft, the pilot is in contact with air traffic controllers, ATC, while MQ9 is on or does the air base. Now, why am I pointing this out? I'm pointing this out because the way that ATC were talking to Blackhawk 3 was completely different from the way he was talking to actual pilots in the actual air, and vice versa. That guy that said, "Did you see that?" That guy that reminds me of my ex-boyfriend, hockey player, what did they call him? The enforcer, the crasher and banger, the physically violent, mentally stupid, that guy was on the ground. That guy was controlling that piece of equipment that was shooting those missiles that you just saw. Now, these people need to be dragged out into the public, put on trial, and thrown in jail. This is ridiculous. All right, so we've got the Predator drone in the air. Now, what I want you to look at is what happens when it shoots a missile. Does it create a little blast that would show up the same way that the footage showed up that I just showed you from January 29th? All right, so there's the people operating. That would be where, did you see that? That guy was. There's the killer drone, just like the Blackhawk would be coming on January. There, see, there's the missile. It creates a little blast. See that? I'm going to slow down the footage. So I've got it really slow right now. And it's just so you can see. Little blast. It almost looks like when missiles are fired, it almost looks like they're going backwards at first, because that's what you're going to see on the videotape when I show it to you again. One more little missile. I've got this in slow-mo. See that? It's almost like it goes backwards. Now, watch this. Watch one missile. See that? And another missile. And I mean, that could have been a third, or it could have been something crashing into it. We really don't know. What we do know is if Trump and the military and all the mainstream media and, if they are claiming that the Black Hawk military copter is what crashed into the plane, and then they have to now admit that the Black Hawk, whatever it was, I believe it's a drone. There it is, firing missiles. See that? Another missile. This is a missile attack on the plane. That's a drone. And that's 64 murders. Flat out murders. I'm saying 64 because I do not believe that any of those soldiers are actually deceased. I think they're in witness protection. I think they went overseas. And I hope that they have the courage to stand up and do what's right. Because, they could get if they did do the right thing, maybe they would be given a break. But right now, this is indisputable.